Okay, question 7. This is a banker. Make sure you can do this. Comes up a lot and it's not too tricky. So show that's a factor. It means we're going to have to write out our synthetic division table and we put the coefficients of our function along the top. Make sure if there's a space, you leave a space. For example, if there was no x squared term here, that would be 0. Yeah. If there was no unit term, that would be 0. Okay, so make sure you've got everything in, and if there's a space, a 0 goes in. Show that as a factor. You would change the sign here. What we actually put in here is the root of the equation, not the factor. We don't put -2, we put the actual root, because if this comes out as 0, that would mean then that x -2, so remainder equals 0. So therefore, x -2 is a factor. That's what we're hoping for. And what does that mean? Well, it means that on my graph, I know that there is a root at -2. Okay, that's what that would mean. So let's work it through then. So the first thing you do is pull this 2 down here. This 2 pops up down there. And we're going to multiply and then add. So it's multiply and add vertically. So 2 times 2 is 4. 1, 2, take me 3, -1, and -2 and 0. Fantastic. So remainder is 0, therefore it's a factor. Make sure you write that. And then factorise fully. So then it's saying, okay, what have you got? Well, I've got x take away 2. And this bit here, well, that becomes 2x squared take away x take away 1. And I'm factorising, so I'm saying, well, let's put it equal to 0. Where does it cross the x-axis? Where is y 0? And we're just factorising. So for me, I'll just go over here and factorise this separately. So I'm looking for a number that adds to -1 and multiplies to -2. So I need to do this times this. So to me that's sounding a lot like -2x plus x. Because -2 times 1 is -2. -2 plus 1 is 1. So all I'm doing is breaking out my x here. Then I take my common factor out, so that'll be 2x. So x take away 1. And then you rewrite that bracket and say, what do I have to put in front of the bracket to give me this? Well, that's the same as that, so I'm just putting a plus 1 in front. Very good, and then put those two together. So 2x plus 1 go together, and x take away 1 go together. So put these two together, and then just pull my bracket down. So I can now rewrite this as x take away 2. That becomes 2x plus 1, and x take away 1, and that's you fully factorised it. Now it's not asked me to go any further than that, but just to show you, if it asked me to solve, okay, so solving would be going further. Solving would then be saying, okay, well that means that x is 2, it means that x is -1/2, and it means that x is 1. Okay, so solving is just going a wee bit further. We don't have to do that this time. And when we solve it, what have I worked out? I've worked out the roots. I then just worked out there's a root over here at 1 and a root over here at -1/2. Okay, so maybe the function's doing something like, I don't know, something like that, maybe. Yeah, who knows? Or the other way around. So, great skill. Make sure you know that skill. It comes up a lot. I think that's one of the easier questions. So please have a look at that. Your marks, really not much. You're getting a mark for setting this up and then a mark for your statement, pretty much. And finally, yeah, a mark for knowing what this is, and then a mark for being able to factorise it. But yeah, it's 4 good marks. It comes up a lot, so get that in the bag. I hope that helps.